one single-sex classrooms perpetuate institutional sexism. Nick Collins of The Telegraph reports that sex-segregated schools make children more likely to accept sexist stereotypes for two reasons. First, Lise Elliott of the University of Wisconsin-Madison reports that when boys and girls are separated for certain classes, the resounding message is not that boys and girls learn differently, but that girls can't do what boys do and vice versa. Gender divisions are made salient in single-sex settings because the contrast between the segregated classroom and the mixed-sex structure of the surrounding world provides evidence to children that sex is a core human characteristic along which adults organize education. Essentially, we teach children from an early age that there are fundamental inequalities between boys and girls that merit different treatment, entrenching the idea of sexist behavior. Second, Richard Faves of Claremont McKenna College finds that single-sex education reduces boys and girls' opportunities to work together in a supervised, purposeful environment. When teachers make children's sex salient, students choose to spend less time interacting with the other sex. Institutionalizing gender-segregated classrooms limits children's opportunities to develop a broader range of behaviors and attitudes. The impact is astounding. Kirsty Karpik of the University of Scranton finds that young men from single-sex schools held less egalitarian attitudes than their co-educated peers across major categories. The single-sex setting exacerbates macho male cultures and corresponds with more sexist attitudes in males. The AAUW Public Policy Center finds that single-sex education reinforces problematic gender stereotypes, increases discrimination, and restricts the educational opportunities open to both boys and girls. Moreover, empirics from a meta-analysis of 184 studies and a sample size of 1.6 million students by the University of Wisconsin concludes results from the highest quality studies then do not support the view that single-sex schooling provides benefits compared with co-ed schooling for the United States. Yet, these harms are not limited to a student's time in school. Throughout a student's life, these attitudes perpetuate discrimination in the workforce, sexual abuse, and family problems. Contention 2, co-educational classrooms improve academics better than single-sex classrooms. Co-ed classrooms are preferable to single-sex classrooms for two main reasons. First, an all-male learning environment is detrimental to the boys' quality of education. The Canadian Center for Knowledge explains boys reported fighting and roughness as the two worst features of all-boy math class. Therefore, single-sex initiatives may weaken the learning environment for boys. Consequently, all-boy classes may foster and reinforce certain female and male stereotypes and negatively affect boys' concentration and performance in school. In fact, Carolyn Jackson of Lancaster University concurs, finding the more boys take every opportunity to demonstrate their own superior masculine qualities by pouncing on other boys' weaknesses, the more dangerous it becomes to express any vulnerability in front of each other. It is noted that boys may be preoccupied with each other to the point where it affects practically everything they do, including their concentration and performance in their work. Second, girls have higher aspirations in co-ed schools. A meta-analysis conducted by Erin Falk of the American Psychological Association finds U.S. girls in co-ed schooling reporting higher levels of educational aspirations than those in single-sex schooling. The impact of these benefits is twofold. The first is an increase in scoring on boys' mathematics achievement test scores. In a multinational analysis, David Baker in the Comparative Education Review Journal finds that in comparing single-sex versus co-ed schools in Belgium, Thailand, and Japan, co-ed males scored higher on mathematics achievement test scores than single-sex males in these three countries. Valerie Lee, also of the Comparative Education Review, verifies Baker's findings in a separate study, noting boys who attend single-sex schools score significantly below their male co-educational school counterparts. These results hold after differences in background, attitudes, schools, and teaching have been statistically equated across these schools. Second, girls and boys are more likely to participate in higher science classes. P. Daly of the Evaluation of Research and Education finds in comparing single-sex versus co-ed schools, he found significant differences in science course participation favoring co-educational students.